Hey folks, we're back for the final day of the 2023 American E-Kart Championship. We have karts out on the track right now getting warmed up, getting some practice in. It's been a tight race so far, huge amount of points going out today, so really it is, again, no cliches here, anyone's race.
It is anyone's race. A miraculous miracle should take care of some of these guys today. There's a lot of movement, like you said, pre-finals here on each track worth 100 points and then 5 points down for each position. But once we get to the finals, we're talking about 500 points for the winner, down 25 points for position. So any position changes as we get later in the day could dramatically change the layout of this tournament.
Most definitely, the driving intensity and aggressiveness today is going to ramp up tenfold. People know where they're at points-wise. They know where they have to be by the end of the pre-finals. They're going to do everything they can to get there, to be in the running to win that $10,000. We got our buddy Mark here with his amazing chain.
Hello.
I was going to mention the chain.
I got it first.
Where did you buy that? How much did that cost?
Like $8. I don't know. I think it was like $19.99. I actually bought it like 1988 or something.
Oh.
It's old school.
So it'd probably be worth like $4 or $5 grand today,
it's
probably.
titanium.
What's the cost after inflation? Because
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
It's titanium. It's not silver.
Oh,
So-
well, never mind then.
Yeah.
Forget I said anything.
So to go over positions for today on Monaco, in first place in points, you have Teddy Oates, followed very closely by Tony Patterson, Nate Grove, CJ Arabia, Brandon Pavo, Jonathan Rumpel, Aaron Ramos, Jason Anderson, Elise Piety, Caleb Costco, Aiden LaBelle, Alex Passarino, Austin Partolo, Matthew Pickle, Kyle Moore, Brad Paquette, Joe Dombrowski, and rounding out the field on Monaco is Colin Grace. Now these groups of people have been put in two groups, A and B. For the pre-final for the A group, on the pole sitting Teddy Oates. Outside of him, we have Nate Grove. Brandon Pavo is on the inside of row 2. Aaron Ramos is on the outside of row 2. Elise Piety inside of row 3. Aiden LaBelle outside of her. Austin Partolo inside row 4. Kyle Moore outside row 4. And then rounding out the field of A group is Joe Dombrowski. So today we have 8 total races. We've got A and B. Actually, I think we have 4 total races today.
No, it's 8. Every driver's going to get 4, but we've got 8 races to go over today.
Yeah, so every driver gets 8 races, so it's half of what we've been doing the previous days. But again, these drivers look happy now. I don't think they're going to be happy at the end of this if they didn't perform well.
Absolutely.
We'd already seen some penalties doled out this morning from some of our races yesterday to heighten the tensions a little bit.
We did have a little bit of a points position change based on one of those penalties. Unfortunately, Caleb Costco took a penalty, moved him from 4th place overall back to 7th place overall. A little bit of a hit with that penalty. It was determined over on Le Mans that coming into the back chicane, he was inside of another driver and then pinched him into the wall, so he was penalized for that. And again, huge points implications for that.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that move from 4th to 7th, the amount of points separating 4th and 7th is 4 points. So it could change very quickly. That goes for anybody. That's not just for those guys dealing with those penalties and those points implications there. As we go through today, the overall point standings are going to be interesting.
Already did it.
Good morning, David.
Good morning. Yeah, we're not saying anything now that it's quiet, right?
Normally.
It's going to be a great day of racing, I can tell you that.
I can tell you I'm
Perfect
excited.
day for it, too. It's raining outside.
Oh boy, is it ever.
You want to be inside.
I tell you what, I wanted to stay in bed this morning, but how could you get away from the excitement today? It is a pretty gloomy day here in the Chicago area. Doesn't matter to us. We're indoors all day. Should wrap up here, hypothetically, looking at around 1:30 or 2 o'clock here Central Time this afternoon if you're watching from home. Like Justin said, we've got 8 races today. Each driver gets a pre-final and a final on both tracks. We are broken up into groups A and B. We're going to get through these pre-finals here on Monaco. Once we're done with those pre-finals, we're going to readjust based on points. There will be, from my understanding, points difference between first place in the A group as we get to the finals versus first place in the B group. So I'm curious to see. There is going to be a lot of points changes. I think we are going to see maybe a couple more black flags than we've seen in the past. I've talked to a couple other drivers, and this is where the rubber meets the road. These guys are probably going to start getting a little more aggressive, trying to push people out of their way, hopefully in a clean manner. Otherwise, we're going to see some more penalties handed out today.
Yeah, I talked to several of the racers yesterday, and some of them like this side better than the other side. Obviously, it's always going to be that way. But I think the people that excelled on this side did not excel on the other side.
Yeah, I think only a couple opportunities to pass over here on the Monaco side. We've got people that are going to maybe have some variation in their lines here on the first straightaway, but coming into the first double hairpin, we're going to see some bumping. We're going to see some rubbing. And I'm curious to see over on Le Mans is definitely an ability to be more aggressive coming out of the long straightaway into the chicane, right back into our first hairpin. We're going to see a lot of position changes in both of those spots here today. I had heard that, though. I had heard that Monaco is the favorite track. I think in terms of gaining position, though, we're going to be seeing it more over on Le Mans later this afternoon.
Right. I think you're right.
Well, we had finished up with some kart warm-ups here. Typically, we've been going out in 3 groups. I don't know if we still have a group left to go. We'll take a look here. We got Kevin Williams from the WKA taking a quick tour of the track. They had a long night last night and into this morning trying to determine that protest we had last night that resulted in Caleb losing a few spots here this morning. But everything is as it stands at the moment. As we get over to Le Mans, we did have a tiebreaker over on Le Mans that we'll go over later this afternoon to make sure everybody's clear head. Looked like Aaron Luke Ramos and Alex Passarino tied on Le Mans coming into today. But they got that tiebreaker worked out. We'll go over that later this afternoon.
Interesting. Track looks good.
Track does look good.
Yeah,
the team here at Accelerate Mokina has been doing an excellent job keeping the track conditions as good as possible. I know the guys were here early this morning.
Working on the carts, getting to make sure.
Actually, it was more track related. Yeah. We did have some of the drivers eat through a piece of that black sheeting on the outside of the barrier, but the guys were here early this morning, got that all patched up, new equipment on there, and.
Well, they were open to retail customers after we left.
They were.
I'm sure they were busy last night with the weather, and
it was a great night for racing. We did have a great party here last night with the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. Mark, you bailed out a little early. It was an early night for you.
Yeah, I had some work that I needed to get done, and I don't know. I just get around the Blues and the Brews. The Brews are the problem.
Well,
so I have one. I've got to have several. I just can't keep it to one.
Hey,
so
what are you gonna do?
I knew I needed to be bright and bushy-tailed this morning, so
it was an early
actually
morning.
Went to bed by 10.
Hey, how about that? So did I.
Yeah, well, nice.
So did I.
10 in which time zone?
In this time zone. That's 9 for me back home.
Yeah.
That's 9 for me back home. It was an early night for me last night.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a check.
Oh, hang on a second.
I'm getting paid.
Daryl, can you write that out to me, Overdrive Raceway?
No.
No, I will not. The pickle suit is going to advance your driver today, though. I'm ready for the pickle suit to come back out.
You want me to write the name on it?
I got it, Mark. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
My God. You guys ever seen anybody make money on this live stream? Actually, we'll be seeing it later today. Handing out 3 big checks, but a lot more money than that coming out today just a reminder, we've got $10,000 for our first place finisher, going down to $2,500 for second place, $1,000 for third, a couple of additional prizes going out.
Yep.
We've got $500 going to fourth place today. Typically, we've been able to get some additional donations from.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna start really announcing now.
That's
I've
right.
got the check.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm gonna start announcing
We're
now.
partying in downtown Chicago tonight. We've got. No, I just watched Mark make a ton of money here on the live
I
stream.
got my check, so now I'm really gonna announce.
Yeah, we've got, again, $1,000 for third, $500 for fourth place, and then we've got the heavy class as well. Looking at 4 drivers available in the heavy class. It's going to be Kyle Moore, Nate Groh, Joe Dombrowski, and then Brad Paquette, all eligible to win in that heavy class. Got $1,200 going out, $700 for first, $300 for second, and then $200 for that third place driver. One guy going home with nothing, unfortunately. Something to look out for, though, Nate Groh at the moment, from what we can tell at the top of the heavy class, if he can find his way to winning third or above overall, actually able to take home 2 prizes. So we'll be watching out for him today.
Yeah, weight doesn't seem to affect as much with electric carts, obviously. We all know that. But he has a way of using that to his advantage in those corners and keeping the cart level.
Yeah.
And not bouncing around. So
yeah, he qualified in the top 10 on both tracks when we came in here on Thursday. Had an excellent showing here on Friday, finishing at or near the top of all of the races that he participated in position racing here on Friday. And we will see if it translates over to Saturday. I don't have an overall points structure in front of me, but we've got individual points for Monaco and Le Mans. We had Nate Groh over here on Monaco in third place, 586 points. Struggled a little bit more on Le Mans in ninth place over there at the moment, but has been a really nice overall spot. At least that's my opinion, as we don't have overall points in front of us at the moment.
yeah, I kind of like not having the points and not knowing. Like yesterday, the way we went through the day without the actual points being out and in front of us all the time. It's a lot different than I expected it to be. The top few you think are going to be in the top 5.
Exactly.
And then there was some guys that snuck up in there that I was really surprised that they were up in there.
Yeah, we've got a lot of guys to talk about here. Starting today, as Justin alluded to earlier, guys sitting in those top spots for our first 2 pre-finals, Tony Patterson, Teddy Oates. We had Teddy Oates here in first place on Monaco after yesterday, but hard to forget that Tony Patterson set the pole here on Thursday. So those are going to be 2 guys that are not going to race each other in the pre-finals. But if everything goes the way I'm expecting it to go and what we've seen, if drivers can get ahead early that are sitting at the front of the pack, you may see those guys battling it out in the final on Monaco.
Yeah.
Had Donald out here working the camera, so he's not going to be in the booth with us at all today. You're going to see him on some of the auxiliary footage here on track, and I'm sure we'll get Justin back here in a bit. I'll probably bail out here for a minute in the middle, and we'll wrap the day up today.
Did you take the honey that I suggested, the tea and honey last night, to keep the old money maker in shape?
When you told me that, it was way too loud. I didn't even hear you tell me that, but I did not. I hope you can't tell too badly. We end of yesterday, my voice was just shot.
Yeah, it takes
shot.
a lot to, keep the commentary up.
From Wednesday on with some of the practices, getting to talk with all the drivers. I'm looking at Emil's screen here. It looks like I see my good buddy Kyle Moore on the live stream. I think Emil should have put that one up for all of you. I think Donald is just traveling with the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, we're getting what I would call the guts eye view.
Right. Well, I am listening to the track staff here, pit crew here at Accelerate Mokina. Looks like they just called all the drivers for that B pre-final. That's going to be the first pre-final we see, I believe, before we get over to the A. That's going to be your race with Tony Patterson sitting right up front with CJ Arabia outside of him. Jonathan Rumpel taking the inside of row 2 with Jason Anderson on his outside. Caleb Koskov is the inside of row 3 with Alex Passerino on the outside, interested to see how they battle in row 3. Followed by the Pickle inside row 4, Matthew Pickle with Brad Paquette on his outside. And then we've got Colin Grace in 9th place, 2 9-person heats here. So a little backed up, actually, on the track in comparison to what we've seen. We've been used to seeing on Thursday during the qualifying portion. We were seeing groups of 6 or 7. Yesterday we were seeing groups of 7 or 8, and now 9-person races here today. Pre-finals and finals are both 14-lap races, so the longest races that we've seen, giving guys an additional opportunity to get out in front, make some of those more aggressive moves. So the extra 2 laps, that's going to help some drivers. That's also going to hurt some of our more defensive drivers having to battle for longer. We'll see how it turns out today.
Yeah, and then their physical fitness
Absolutely.
comes into a little bit more.
The fatigue's going to come into it after driving 16 races Thursday, 16 races Friday.
Plus their practices on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. There are drivers that have been here since prior to Wednesday getting their own practice in. This is where that fatigue is going to set in. We're going to have a lot of white knuckle driving out here.
Yeah, I talked to a couple people. They said their ribs are getting a little sore, and I can understand from doing some of the 6 and 12-hour races I do a lot of.
Sure.
You get a lot of racing in it. It really does beat you up a little bit, and especially your lower back can take a beating.
I saw a few guys with their hands taped up. Yeah, we'll take that. I haven't seen that yet. I'm going to reach over to Emil here. It looks like we've got an overall point standing we can go over. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Let us take a look here. 19 drivers here, guys. Looks like we've got a couple of ties we can go over here. We're going to start out first overall. Tony Patterson, 1,189 points so far. Followed closely, Aaron Luke Ramos, just looks like 28-point gap, 1161. Followed by Jason Anderson, Jonathan Rumpel. Got a couple of guys here. We'll talk about Jonathan, 1,138 points in 4th. Followed by Nate Groh, Alex Passerino, and Caleb Koskov, all within 4 points of 4th place.
That's crazy.
Following Caleb, we've got Teddy Oates, Brandon Pavo, Austin Partolo, CJ Arabia, Elise Piety, the Pickle, Matthew Pickle, 14th place at 1,074 points. We've got Aiden LaBelle, Colin Grace, Brad Paquette, Joe Dombrowski, and Kyle Moore rounding out the field with 1,000 points. We have got 189 points separating 1st to 19th, as we talked about earlier. We're talking about 100 points for 1st place here with 5-point subtractions for every place here in the pre-finals. But as we move over to the finals, we're talking about 500 points separated by 25 points per position. So that 189 points, depending on how some of our by some of those mid to back of the pack guys, we could see major points
shifts.
Turns over.
Yeah. You get out of line and get the old freight train, you might lose some major points today.
It happens every year. You would be naive to think that it is not a possibility here today.
Can happen pretty quickly, and you think you're going to make the right choice and go for that spot, and it just doesn't quite work out. And then you have a good idea they're back there, but you don't have you just don't really realize you're going to get passed by 3
Absolutely.
in a corner.
Absolutely.
Sometimes.
Let's see. Looking at the rest of these, one of the things we're not surprised by, but it's something that we saw in years past, and with these new Super Leggero karts, not a surprise that we're not seeing too many, but only 3 drivers have used their kart swap here so far in this tournament. I think it is possible now that the rubber is meeting the road, we see a couple more drivers trade in their karts. Obviously, there's karts that drivers have gotten a chance to drive and may not feel as comfortable driving, might feel that they don't fit their driving style. So we may see a few more kart swaps here today, but I think just a testament to the crew here and how they've maintained their karts. We talked about it in our drivers meeting, Dakota Reed trying to have that goal of 26 karts within 0.2 of a second of each other in performance.
That's amazing.
It was my understanding they did get to that number of 26 karts. And the fact that they have held out this long, first time that we've been able to keep these carts at the beginning of the tournament out of the hands of arrive and drive racers here.
Makes a huge difference.
They are not having to deal with any customers that are bashing these carts or driving them into the walls, which is, as a business owner, is just, it naturally happens with the arrive and drive clientele. People want to be aggressive. It is fun. If you guys are not super familiar with this style of karting, this is a great style of karting to get into. But we did not have to deal with any of that this year, and that's made a huge difference coming in late in this tournament.
Yeah, I know they worked really hard on that, and even battery life where the battery is in its life cycle can make a little bit of a difference, especially on these longer races. That might come into play a little bit. I don't think it will because the carts are so new.
Only about 7 months with the Superleggeros here at this location. So they are still in prime driving condition. But again, testament to these guys working here. They have worked late into the night, getting here early in the morning to fine-tune some of these carts, like we talked about briefly, making sure that the track is in really good driving condition, making sure that it's clean, barriers are safe, and we appreciate those guys putting in that extra effort here this weekend.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without them. It'd be just running off of the arrive and drive carts. It would be a little bit of a challenge. I think we're getting close.
We are getting close. I did see up on the live stream, we've got drivers getting seated at the moment. I want to talk about these points again. We're within first to 10th. We're talking about less than 100 points. Yeah. Less than 100 points, whereas we get into the finals where 4 position spots is equivalent to 100 points, and we're going to see drivers be more aggressive. If you're Tony, you cannot look at this as a victory coming into today. He does have a pretty decent lead here. Like I said, 28 points over Aaron Luke Ramos in second place, a returning champion. We've got guys like Austin Partolo, 11th place, just inside, actually. Again, looks like 95 points.
95 points down.
Austin Partolo, and he is our defending champion.
Yeah.
One thing that we had mentioned in the last couple of broadcasts is there has not been a hometown champion. Any of our times in Mokina, previously 2018 and 19, and Jacksonville last year, we did not see the home track driver really perform into the top 3 or top 5, and Tony Patterson is trying to take that mentality that the hometown driver can't win, and he has really proven everybody wrong here so far. Really, really performed at the top of his game on both tracks this weekend.
I think that's a testament to the way the series is ran with, like in the past we did forward and backwards and several different track configurations. So the hometown person, they don't have much experience racing it backwards. So it kind of does even it out for everybody. And this week we're only running backwards, so it's really coming into play here. But I'd like to go take a look and see how many races Tony has on this track, just to see.
Oh, listen, I know how many races our drivers have on our track, and it's a staggering number. These guys put their blood, sweat, and tears into this sport. I hear some noise coming there from the pit. It does look like carts are coming out on the track.
Yeah, we have action.
We're going to look at that pre-final, B pre-final. And we're going to get a quick recon lap in before we get gridded up. Give the drivers an opportunity after those warm-up laps, scrubbing the tires, making sure the track's nice and warm. And there's Tony Patterson leaving the pit first. He's going to be the first one to come around for his recon lap. We're going to find him starting on the pole here.
Yeah, they're going to get gridded in their positions now. Boy, I sure liked it when we were facing the track better yesterday.
It's a little different over here. We get some good action, though, coming into this straightaway, seeing everybody's adjusted lines as they come through here.
I can high-five them when they go by. They're literally right here next to the booth.
I would not recommend that, but you could. You could if you
when
wanted
they're coming off the track.
Oh, coming off the track.
I wouldn't do it while they're on the track.
I was doing that all week.
Yeah, maybe.
These guys love that.
Yeah. So, the drivers should know they give us a little extra cash when they come by. We'll probably speak more highly of them. Not that we don't already.
I did see someone attempt to slip Kevin Williams, president of the WKA, at 20 yesterday. He denied it.
Yeah, that's good.
But shows you the lengths that these guys are willing to go.
And if you didn't tune in yesterday, we actually have a lighting system similar to Formula One that we're doing the starts with.
Speak of the devil.
And the
Eric's
lights are
got it
start,
out right now. All right.
They'll start lighting up.
They're going to make sure
they're
that
lit
everybody
up,
can see
somewhere
the
between
lights.
2 and 6 seconds, it'll go.
And the lights are on. We'll wait that 4 to 6. Lights are out, and we've got a clean start from everybody. Coming around here a little bit of contact, but it looks like everything's coming out clean here. It does look like Caleb Koskov was able to move up into third. That's really the only thing to speak of at the moment.
Nice clean lap for the top 3.
We're a little jammed up here. Groups are separating. Tony Patterson out front. He's got CJ close behind and Caleb Koskov in third place. I think it's going to be crucial here, Mark. Drivers need to take every opportunity they can to gain as many points as possible in the pre-final.
Absolutely. You're going to see guys going for the pass down this straightaway. Going to take a couple laps to get mixed up so they can get their speed. There's I think a pass attempt right there. Might be 2 position changes going on.
That looks like Tony Patterson is starting to walk away a little bit. Fight for second place between CJ Arabia and Caleb Koskov is tight at the moment. The spectator section here is going to be a little bit more rowdy than usual, cheering on their favorite drivers. We'd love to hear from you guys in the live stream.
Yeah, Jason is really aggressive out there today, so let's see how that rolls out for him.
We have started to get some good separation here between first, second, and third. All drivers driving out on their own. Fourth place, Jonathan Rumpel from Autobahn Manassas. He's driving on his own as well. The fight is more towards the back of the pack at the moment.
Tony's got over a second lead, maybe close to a second and a half, right at a second and a half. And we have about a 6/10 separation between second and third.
Only about 7.5 seconds separates first to last. That's going to be one of our more tight races that we've seen so far. Anything can happen here. We are coming into lap 5 now. 5 again out of 14 laps we're doing today in our pre-finals and our finals. It looks like Tony's out by himself here. Caleb is caught back up to CJ in that fight for second, so Tony's going to take full advantage.
Yeah, Caleb's really trying to make a move. I think he's going to try to pull alongside here. Not quite enough room.
If you're Caleb here, after taking that 4-position penalty here this morning, you're gunning for first place here. I'm curious to see if CJ's going to be able to give it up. CJ's running an incredibly defensive line at the moment. I'm looking at Jonathan coming in 4th place to take advantage and come up to Caleb's bumper.
Yeah, while these 2 races are battling, it'll make it easy for Jonathan to get closer to the group.
And Tony's widened his gap here. He's coming across. I'm curious to see what the gap looks like.
He's got to be close to 2 seconds.
About 2 seconds now. He's driving about a half a second a lap faster than these other drivers as they fight for position. And if you're Tony, Mark, you're thrilled that we're getting this fight for second and nobody coming up for him for first place.
Yeah, he's got a pretty nice spot right now. Nice smooth race lines going well.
The racing is tight. One of our most popular drivers here early in the week, Alex Passarino, is starting to gain on Jonathan for 4th place.
Boy, that second, third battle's good.
Jonathan started out the race in 3rd, did give up that spot to Caleb, and Alex is looking to take a little more, but Jonathan's got a real nice line, making sure that he's protecting that 4th position.
We're going to have 4 laps left, so they're really going to have to put it down if they're going to do it. Takes a couple of laps to set up a pass on a tight track like this, so I can see that Jonathan is running a defensive line to keep Alex from setting that pass up. With 3 laps to go, Tony has a nice lead, right around 2 seconds, 1.9 I think he'll come in at. 1.843. I think he's going to hold on to the win here unless something happens. White flag's coming out. CJ and Caleb have a good battle going here, going into the white flag lap. As do Jonathan and Alex. Good battle going on here back in the pack. Number 10, that's Matthew going for a pass on Colin. I think he's going to make it stick.
Now, one opportunity here to pass. If you're Caleb, I think you're going to try it, but I don't think he's got the distance covered.
Not quite.
And he doesn't. It looks like those results are going to stand here, guys. We'll run over this real quick. Decisively, Tony from Accelerate Mokina out front.
And Matthew was able to make that last lap pass stick. That was good.
Fantastic. Following up Tony, we've got CJ from Autobahn Palisades, followed by Caleb Costco of Overdrive Raceway, followed by Jonathan from Autobahn Manassas, Alex from Autobahn Jessup, Jason from Accelerate Milwaukee. We've got the Pickle coming in 7th. Three Rivers
guys.
Karting. Colin from Autobahn Harrisburg, and Brad taking up the back of the field from Victory Raceway. Excellent race. We saw a lot of action at the beginning, not a whole lot to speak of through the rest of the race. It was definitely a clean one.
Yeah, it's nice to see a last lap pass. Now we know it can happen.
That's right.
Yeah. Who's up in the next one?
All right. Up in the A pre-final, everybody you didn't see before. We've got Teddy Oates starting on the pole. Nate Groh outside of him, followed by Brandon Pavo inside of row 2, with Aaron Luke Ramos on the outside. Again, returning champion.
See how that goes from the outside.
Piety inside row 3, with Aiden LaBelle outside of her. He's had a very phenomenal tournament. He's our youngest driver, and has really held his own.
Yeah.
In the qualifying and position racing portion so far. We've got Austin Partolo inside of row 4 with Kyle Moore outside of him, followed up by your driver, Joe Dombrowski. And I'm curious to see our 2 drivers, Kyle and Joe, go at it and see if they can make up some positions here. Both of them in competition for the heavy class victory as well.
Yeah, they've had some good races this week.
Yeah, we're going to see these races get finished a little bit faster, although I will say we did have that contact at the beginning where Caleb went from a 5th to 3rd. Definitely something worth talking about with our WKA officials, and I assume that's what they're in there doing at the moment. Well, I don't know if we'll hear from Eric. I guess no news is good news.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little peek around the curtain.
You got it. Oh, wait, I do see Eric here. He may be heading back out to the track. We'll take a look here.
I think it looked like he was heading to the track, so there must not be any changes or anything we need to make note of. I had a great barbecue dinner last night.
Wait, you had what?
No, we had a great barbecue dinner here.
Yes, we did have a great dinner. I thought you went
I didn't get in on it.
afterwards.
I didn't get in on the dinner, but it was great. I heard from other people.
Oh, yeah, the buffet.
Really
you went to Buff B. You told me that.
Yeah, I went to Buff B, which was my hotel room.
Yeah, the buffet was the only one open.
Yeah, yeah.
We are seeing Kevin and Eric head back out to the track. My assumption is those results will stand as we have given them to you.
Unofficially official.
Unofficially official. As official as I can provide to you at the moment.
We do want to remind the listeners and viewers here that it is unofficial what
I think
results
that's
are.
one of the things that you could learn from yesterday. Did see that protest late. We did not get those protest results until the morning. Donald making sure that he's in a good position for your viewing pleasure with our on-track camera. Got a lot of great spectators out here. We do have carts coming onto the track for our A pre-final here on Monaco. Again, 14-lap race, looking at 100 points for the first place finisher and then going down 5 points for every position thereafter. And if you're some of these guys, Mark, that we talked about sitting anywhere between 4th and 8th, those 5 points for gained positions are going to mean a world of difference.
Yeah.
We saw Caleb take 2 positions in that race. Would not be surprised to see he is on that tail end in that 7th position.
Yeah, picking up some points and, you know, losing some points.
Important to note, we did group these drivers top to bottom for their Monaco points here, and then went every other A, B to finalize these groups here. That's why you found Tony there in the start of the B group, as he was in 2nd place here on Monaco. We've got Teddy Oates. He's going to be driving out here on the pole for our A pre-final.
Going down and turning the cameras on.
Yeah, cameras on.
That's called Viewpoint?
Yeah, Viewpoint cameras. They're one of our great sponsors here. And I talked to Kevin for that protest here last night, that those Viewpoint cameras are the reason that they were able to make such an informed decision here.
I'm adding that to my notes. I need to check those out.
Those are in my notes as well. We don't offer Viewpoint cameras, but for business owners that are looking for a camera solution, Viewpoint provides you an all-encompassing system. Take cameras out of the charging station, pop them on the helmet or your cart, turn them on. Once you take those carts back,
oh, here comes the
put
lights.
that camera back on, and you got yourself a professional video. Lights are on.
And we're lights out, and
there they go.
There
Clean
they go.
start for all the racers here. Let's see what happens in this first hairpin. Kind of as I expected, Teddy Oates has fallen into first place here handily. We got some bumping there in the back, but I don't know if we've got any position changes here.
I think Joe was able to move up a spot on Kyle.
We've got drivers jockeying for position here. We'll see how they come across here. Definitely had a position change here in 5th. Got Brandon Pavo from R1 with the dominant position here from 3rd into 2nd. And he's not going to take it cleanly. He is side by side here with Nate. And it looked like Nate did come out in 2nd place here. And we've got him for you here, Teddy, in 1st place, followed by Nate, Brandon, Aaron, Elise, Austin, Aiden, Joe, and Kyle. Now, Mark, one of the things that I'm finding a little interesting here, I'm looking at Aaron. I was expecting him to find his way into 3rd, but he has given a lot of pressure on Brandon there for that 3rd position.
Yeah.
I actually thought in the scramble there that Aaron had taken 3rd place, but it was actually Brandon jockeying with Nate for 2nd.
Yeah, we got good battle there. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th are very, very close.
Teddy is taking full advantage here. We've got Nate, we've got Brandon, we've got Aaron bumper to bumper. Elise closely behind in 5th place. If you're Teddy, again, just like Tony in the last race, you are thrilled for these position battles going on behind you. He has been able to start walking away early. We're only 3 laps in coming into lap 4.
We've seen that both of these races where they've been able to just pull away. And, you know, the 2nd and 3rd place battle has allowed that. You know, you get kind of tied in with the other cart that's trying to pass you, and you're trying to run a defensive line. That just allows that other leader to get away from you.
Guy I'm looking at right now trying to gain some positions is Joe Dombrowski from pole position, currently sitting in 8th, started in the back of the field, and he is giving Aiden a run for his money for that 7th position. Teddy has started walking away with this one, over a 2-second gap at the moment between 1st and 2nd.
I was noticing on the live stream yesterday, Teddy has a lot of fans out there.
Teddy does have a lot of fans. He has been a fan favorite all week long.
I'm going to check it out and see how it's going on there today.
Yeah, we'll have Mark pull up the live stream, see if we can get some comments. We can get you some answers here in between. Teddy widening that gap to about 2.5 seconds currently. Nate still holding strong in 2nd, followed by Brandon, Aaron, and Elise. We've got Austin close behind Elise now. And then, of course, we've got Aiden, Joe, and Kyle taking up the back of the field. Joe still putting a ton of pressure on Aiden here. He wants that 7th spot. Already gained a position so far. Let's see if he can grab another.
20.962, best lap from Teddy. That is pretty good. That's going to be tough to beat.
Teddy now made it a 3-second gap between first and second. Here on lap 9, working our way into lap 10 here in just a moment. If anybody is going to pass, if you're in those third to 6th, maybe even second, Nate has been having that gap open and closed here on him. Brandon putting a lot of pressure on. This is the time to set up for those passes. We are right in the heart of lap 10 here. Teddy coming around to start lap 11.
It's going to be 3 seconds up.
I think we might see it be even more than that. Yeah,
3.3
seconds.
Wow. I think that's the biggest gap I've seen in any race on this track at least.
Yeah, we're coming into lap 12 here. White flag will be coming out shortly here. If you're Brandon, now is the time to go. He has put a lot of pressure on Nate.
Yeah, white flag's going to come out this time.
White flag is coming out. Teddy still in a commanding lead. And I mean commanding. We have not seen a gap like this all weekend. We're still looking at 2nd through 4th here. Nate, Brandon, and Aaron all putting a lot of pressure on each other. Let's see if there's any last-minute moves here. Unless Teddy's cart dies here at the end, we're looking at a victory here for him. And he comes through strong. Teddy Oates in first place, followed by Nate, Brandon, and Aaron. And you've got Elise, Austin, Aiden, Joe, and Kyle. This is going to be another one of those races, Mark. We see some of those position changes early and not much to talk about the remainder of the race. These guys are putting on a great show.
Yeah, it's a little tough to pass on this side. You know, I think your qualifying comes in to play so much over here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Teddy putting on a performance here.
3.5 second.
That's an incredible gap.
Yeah, that's
incredible gap. There was more fighting there for second place than I'd seen in a few races here. Nate, Brandon, and Aaron. Brandon really on Nate's bumper the entire duration of the race, and Aaron wasn't letting it go. In fact, did make a move for a pass here at the end, but was just a little too late. And there's Kyle. He's in a good mood.
He's a happy one.
He's in a happy mood. Finished that race in 9th, but again invited back here by the AEKC as a racer's liaison.
He does a great job with that too.
He's been there to assist the guys with any questions that they have. This is Kyle's 4th time here at the AEKC. Has been here every year that we have done this tournament, and really just that veteran presence for some of the younger guys here especially.
Yeah, he does a nice job of explaining things, and I've seen how he treats people, and it's really a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, we're lucky. Like we talked about it yesterday. Lucky to have him as our racer. I'm lucky to call Kyle a friend, and he is the definition of a sportsman. And I think the tournament has benefited from that. And in that sportsmanship realm, we have seen more sportsmanship here, walking into day, 4. More than that for some of these drivers, where the tensions can get heated. They've had a great time here so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Taking a break?
I need a second.
I hear it. Come on in. We'll change it up. It's been interesting to see, from difference between qualifying to the actual racing times.
Well, it looks like I just got a new laptop.
Some have excelled and some have slipped a little bit.
For being here with us today. If you want to check them out at their booth, pay them a visit. They're over here next to the podium near the lobby. Thanks again to Monster for being our title sponsor for this event.
Also, they got free monsters.
Oh, we have Monster in the house. That
Free
is
drinks.
awesome.
All right, you guys been having fun so far?
Yeah, it's been great. Those 2 races, I had a couple of passes in there that we weren't expecting, and we definitely weren't expecting a 3.5-second lead by the end of that one.
Yeah,
That was pretty
took a minute
impressive.
off to fix a technical issue and came back and turned into a drink runner for everybody. So.
That's what happens. Yeah, that can happen pretty quickly.
So just waiting on everybody to get set up over there.
Yeah, that was a good battle in the middle there. They were really close together. There wasn't a lot of changes, but it was a good battle.
Was that the second race?
That was the second race,
All right.
yeah. We got job offers going on
I
over
know.
here.
A lot of moving parts. I feel like it's like a cattle market right now.
Yeah. I'm expecting somebody to start throwing fish.
I know.
We'll have the fish market here.
That's later this afternoon.
Later, yeah. You ever been up there in Seattle, the fish market they have out on the pier?
Daryl's gonna like this, but
It's amazing.
wife's from Pittsburgh, so I go to Wooley's Fish Market out there in the Strip District.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. Funny thing is I'm allergic to fish, but my wife is not, so I walk in and immediately feel sick to my stomach. But they've got a great team there. Everybody's always happy and excited. For Pittsburgh, kid loves it too. I mean,
Yeah.
they walk in,
Yeah.
always make sure the kids are having fun and showing them how they're, scaling the fish and everything like that. So it's interesting. So I think we are going to take a quick break, get our sponsors and participating tracks, show you guys their commercials, but we'll be back shortly. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning.
If you're looking for the ultimate getaway without going away, then race to Pole Position Raceway. It's the perfect place for kids, teens, and adults. Pole Position Raceway. Real, fast, fun.
Cheers. With the fastest indoor electric go-karts in the tri-state area,
State-of-the-art axe throwing,
a large selection of arcade games,
and a delicious bar and grill experience.
3 Arcade is your #1 spot for adrenaline-pumping thrills.
We're here and ready to go, so come on out and join us for some fun.
And be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss out on any of the action.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, folks, welcome back. We are waiting on the judges. It looks like they are doing a review from the first race earlier. Not sure what went wrong, but the WKA folks have been really good about letting us know, so we are waiting on them to get back with us with what's going on. So right now we're kind of in a holding pattern. Let the judges make their decisions. There's a lot of points on the line today, so we want to make sure we get every decision right.
And that's from the first race.
That's from the first race.
Interesting.
We got a candid photo shoot going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right here.
It's interesting being right next to the crowd
Yeah.
because people are leaning over, trying to get as much information as possible.
Yeah.
We also have Monster Energy showed up in the building, so we got a lot of stuff going on. Thank
Got
you
a free
to them.
Monster. Can't
Free
beat that.
Monster, yeah. Title sponsor for the American E-Kart Championship. Every year we've done it. Again, we couldn't do it without you. All of our sponsors, really. Kart One, Club Speed, Performer, Gallagher, Apparel Smart, Viewpoint. You guys really make this happen. Our track owners, participating tracks that got involved with us and saw the vision and the passion that we all collectively have for this. So appreciate you guys as well.
Well, you know, we all believe in it, so we take turns coming and helping out. And it's my turn again.
There you go.
So
I think it's your turn every year, Mark.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Did you get your lottery ticket last night?
I did buy
you
a
win?
lottery ticket. I haven't checked yet. I got several right here though.
Several.
I got several. Let's see how many I got. I got a few. I got a few hidden in there.
Goodness gracious.
Hopefully one of those is a winner.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's hope I have a winner in there. And I won't be back tomorrow.
I think you have the most advanced wallet on the planet.
Yeah.
Is that a rubber band?
Rubber bands, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I am as cheap as you can get.
Yeah,
So like I said,
expensive.
I was
went
pretty
expensive,
bummed.
and it's literally getting ripped apart on the inside.
Yeah.
So
I was pretty bummed. Somebody got my fancy shirt before I got here. So I got this nice T-shirt, which is nice. But like I explained to Morgan, I said, this is where I get my new shirt every year.
Yeah, I give you the
and
one
she's
off
like,
my
yeah,
back.
we give you a new shirt. I go, no. I get one new shirt every year, and this is where I get it, free here. I'm on my same clothes from high school, as you can tell by looking at me.
listen, you are a fine and upstanding gentleman, and that's all that matters. Morgan, where's this shirt? Nah.
Well, maybe next year I'll get my fancy shirt.
Yeah.
So, I have one from every year, you know, and it's kind of cool. I like to wear them to the league, and the guys are like, "Oh, dude, did you?" I'm like, "No, I didn't race in it. I'm just there."
Yeah.
You know, I just get the shirt.
I have my original white one. This was my first new one. So happy to put this one in the closet. Wife, not so much, because it's just more room.
Yeah.
Even though she has 7/10 of the closet, it's always a problem when I get a new
Seems like
shirt.
it goes that way sometimes. But you know, when you're still operating off your high school clothes, you don't need as much room.
That's fair.
I need to be a good lip reader because everybody likes to think that I'm a good lip reader.
Well, he said heavy class, so we're going to
Heavy
talk about the
class.
heavy class.
Oh,
we
heavy
have
class,
4
yeah.
drivers in the heavy class this year. So let's go over those drivers. We have Nate Groh,
Joey's in there, I know. And
Joe
Kyle.
Dombrowski, Kyle Moore, and then Brad.
Brad.
So,
Be
yeah,
rad is rad.
So those guys are driving really hard. Kyle Moore, the ever impressive sportsman, said he's actually been laying back because he was invited here.
Right.
So he didn't want to take any prize money away from any of the other drivers. So again, he's going into today giving everybody the opportunity that actually earned their way here to win the money. He doesn't want to take anything away from them. So again, ever the sportsman. But Nate, I think, has a firm stranglehold on the heavy class right now.
I think so.
It would be interesting
and
to
he's
see.
in good position for the overall.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when we introduced it. The goal was to give heavy money, and if anybody won the AEKC, it's on top of that money too. So if Nate has a really strong day today, there's a potential that he walks away with $10,700, an awesome monster backpack. Yeah.
2 big checks.
Oh, so the review has actually expanded to the second race as well. So first and second race are currently under review. There are no protests. So something that the officials saw they didn't like, so they're reviewing everything, making sure they got it right. Again, a lot of points going out today, a lot of implications with those points, so they want to make sure that they get the decision right. Again, I don't envy being the WKA folks, because you guys were there, life was miserable, so now it's their job.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can figure this out and let us know as soon as they're done. But again, we are in a holding pattern for that. Luckily, we have all of that built into our schedule today, so we shouldn't run over time.
Yeah, I'm so glad we have them involved. The WKA just really stepped it up, and they realize the prestigiousness of this event, and they're glad to help out. And it was a big help for us because the owners of the tracks were taking turns doing it, and you don't want to feel like, because we love all the drivers.
Yeah.
And they all have their own personalities. I get a chance to meet them all every year, and you don't want to feel like you don't want to penalize any of them. So it's nice to have an outside person come in and can get on a plane and go away, and not have to be feel like they felt bad about it, because everybody that's qualified, you want them to do well. We'd like to see everybody win, but it just can't be.
Especially $10,000. You can't give 19 people $10,000.
Yeah.
It's bad business.
Yeah, that would be bad business. That would raise our entry fee from the track owners by quite a bit.
Yes, it would. And I think that $2,500 mark for the drivers would come into play at that point.
Yeah, yeah. The entry fee for the drivers would have to go up a lot.
Yes.
What is the entry fee here today?
So for the drivers?
For the drivers.
$0.
$0.00.
Absolutely. So all they have to do is qualify to get here. For the Autobahn team, we pay our league drivers $450 to win their league. So they win the championship. They get enough money that should cover their costs out here, but they pay their way out here. They show up, they race. 16 races day one, 16 races day two, 8 races on the final day. All of that stuff is completely covered as soon as they get here if they qualify. So
included.
And we staff these things to the teeth to make sure that everything is taken care of as efficiently and professionally as possible. So huge shout out to the Accelerated Indoor Speedway staff for coming out here, being as efficient as they are, making sure the drivers are taken care of, giving strategy feedback to everybody who asks. We're always readily available, so the staff's
I can't think of any other Grand Prix sport where you can go to a karting center and 8 weeks pay somewhere between $50 and $75 to get into a kart. You don't even need to bring your own helmet. Most do at this level, but I can't think of anything that you can do that.
Nope.
You have no expense other than your entry fee every week, and you take home prizes. Like typically, I give free race passes out every week, 3 for the winner, 2 for second, 1 for third in each division. Typically, we have an A, B, and a C division, and there's nothing like that. I've been racing things my whole life, and I've never had anything that was simply free.
It looks like the officials are out. Kevin Williams trying to just walk past us here. No indication of what's going on, so we're just waiting on Eric to give us what's going on, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think anything will be earth-shaking.
I don't think there's any sport anywhere in the world that you can go and get free entry for an eligibility to win 10 grand.
Yeah, yeah. And even the qualifying series is very affordable.
Very, very affordable. For us, it's
4 races per night is what our AEKC League rounds consist of. And for most tracks charge around $50. That's amazing value. Cheaper than walk-in races.
All right, we have an updated point sheet here from the officials. For the finals on Monaco, the finals are set. Starting on the pole for Monaco, Teddy Oates currently with 699 points. Just behind him, Tony Patterson with 690 points. Third place, Nate Groh with 681 points. Fourth place, CJ Arabia with 674 points. Brandon Pavo with 666 points, the most unlucky person in the world.
That's my number.
It's terrifying. Jonathan Rumpel right behind him in 6th place with 659 points. It would be really awkward if he had 666 points in 6th place. Game over.
That would be a little
Just
bit.
walk away.
Yeah.
In 7th place on Monaco, Aaron Luke Ramos with 650 points. Caleb Koskov with 641 points in 8th position. Jason Anderson with 636 points in 9th position. Rounding out the top 10 and the final position in Group A, you have Elise Piety with 632 points. That is Group A on Monaco. Group B pole is Alex Passarino. 12th position, Aiden Label. 13th position, Austin Pardello. 14th position, Matthew Pickle. 15th position, Kyle Moore. 16th position, Joe Dombrowski. 17th position, Colin Grace. 18th position, Brad Paquette. And 19th position, Bailey Tolson.
We might see a mix-up here in the heavy.
It looks like it. It looks
Because,
like they're all running really close together. You
yeah.
got Kyle Moore, Joe, and Brad all within 4 positions.
Yeah. Depending how that shakes out on the other side, there might be.
Then you've got Nate Groh with the stranglehold, 3rd position in the A.
Yeah.
Austin, Matthew, Kyle, Joe, Colin, Brad.
So we are going straight into the Monaco finals. It sounded like they were starting with the B group first. We want to wait for the A group to come out. We have these fantastic medals here from the WKA. The winner of the A pre-final heat is going to take one of these awesome WKA medals home just to show their achievement. Again, this is like the semifinals for the whole championship. You win this, you're really well set up to go into the finals and get a ton of points. So looking to see how everything shakes up right now.
It's kind of like Jeopardy. The points are going to double.
Points are going to double. So 699
The
points.
daily
is gonna turn
double.
into 1,000 points.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting to watch how that shakes out. Maybe Turd Ferguson will show up. That's an old SNL reference, which most people probably won't understand, but it's a good one.
I actually have a question that I just noticed on this sheet, so I'm going to step away
gonna
and
go
see if
check
I
it
can
out?
yeah.
All right. So we're going to get. Oh, yeah. We are going to get clarification on the starting order, and we'll get everybody lined up and get them ready to go. We did notice something that was a little questionable on the order, and we just want to make sure that we have everything straight. So we are going to go into these finals. Sounds like the B is going to run first, and then the A, and then we'll have a little bit of a break before we switch over to the other side, to the Le Mans. And then that's when the points really come into play. The officials are heading out to the track. Again, thank you, Monster. Appreciate it. Getting some good response in the chat there. We got a lot of people are rooting on their drivers. Yeah, they got somebody responding that Brandon was really keeping the pressure on, and he absolutely was. And Elise has got some good comments in there. Make sure you jump in there and root your drivers on. They enjoy seeing it. They're all walking around here with their phones, watching and listening when we aren't live in racing, or when they're not in the cart. They're keeping track. We've got a good crowd forming out here. We'll try to go out and get some interviews with some crowd later and see what they're here for and who they're rooting for. and we'll keep it interesting. And then we'll have an award ceremony at the end. And the award ceremony, if you haven't ever seen it here, the award ceremony is incredible.
We are going to be getting another sheet because there was a mistake on here.
Nice catch. Good catch. Now, that's a good announcer who can catch a mistake. So we'll keep you up to date with that change.
Just want to make sure everything is right for these drivers.
Is there going to be a change then?
There is going to be a change.
Okay.
So Elise is going to be bumped down into the B group. So she will not be the final position in A. She will be bumped down to the first position in the B group.
Well, that probably would suit her. She'd
Yes.
probably be happy for that.
I would be.
Yeah.
It's better than having to drive through an entire field.
Yeah. Yeah. A little less points, but overall, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah. Our production crew, production pro over here is falling asleep in the chair staring at me.
Well, it's been a long week.
It has been a long week. So I think they were just reviewing to get the points set up correctly. Sorry, I had a question from the crowd. Just wanted to make sure we got everything answered for anybody that heard at home. The review was just making sure the points were done correctly. Then we got the sheet and just had to make one more final change to make sure everybody got the right information. So it looks like we're going to take another quick break here while they're getting the sheets updated and the positions reset. So we're going to go to another commercial break. Come right back here shortly, and we'll be able to jump right into this next pre-final.
Hey everyone, this is Elio Castro Neves, and look, I'm so excited to be here, be able to talking to you guys about it. This year was an amazing year, accomplished the number 4th Indy 500 win, which has been historic, obviously. So many years of waiting, only 4 guys in the entire planet were able to accomplish this feat, which I'm so happy and honored and humble as well to be able to achieve that. And I wouldn't be able to do it with a phenomenal team behind me. And that's where I want to really make sure people understand. It's not only about the crew, it's not about the mechanics, the engineers, but also the family, the sponsors, the people, the friends, and the competitors as well, because they make you better. And that's why it's great starting go-karts, because go-karts always give you that kind of a mentality, that school that you're thinking about right at the beginning of your career. What do you want to do? What you want to accomplish? Yes, results is very important, of course, but the results come with dedication, with hard work, and passion. You can't achieve your goals if you don't love what you do. And that's why, the American E-Kart Championship, it's super cool. And I tell you what, let me mention about $10,000 for the first prize. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. I don't remember when I used to race to have that kind of incentives. My dad would be really happy about that. But at the end of the day, the prize, it's all about the results of your hard work. You gotta dream. You gotta think about it, because you gotta have that mentality and the visualization that you're gonna get that. However, for you to get there, you gotta make sure you start way back there. Start hustling, start pushing it, and give yourself to that. So, my word of advice, keep it going, dedicate, have passion. With all of that, you're gonna accomplish your goals. By the way, go to AmericanEkart.com to check it out, all the stuff that you guys needed. And again, all the best, have fun, good luck.
My name is Ellis Spezia, and I am here in the final round of the Next Gen Cup Electric Championship in Sweden. And all of you guys are in Chicago, the exact same place that I was on the grid for AEKC in 2019. And I'm sure there are quite a few drivers that were as young as I am stepping into the racing from October 11th to 14th. And I wish you all the best of luck. And I hope to see the fastest of that grid on a championship like this sometime in the near future. So to the drivers that are especially on the younger side like I was, have fun, absolutely send it, and I'll be following along super close as you guys get through your racing, and I wish you all the best of luck and have an awesome few days on track at Accelerate Indoor Speedway.
All right, folks, we are back. We are getting the B final on Monaco lined up right now. We did have a slight change. Elise Piety moved from last position in the A group to first position in the B group. Unfortunately, we've lost Bailey Tolson for the rest of the event due to a medical situation last night. He wasn't able to join us today. Hopefully everything goes well with Bailey. But we did lose Bailey, so we had to shift the groups to make it fair for both groups. So now both groups have 9 people. Instead of having a 10 and a 9, both groups have 9 to make it as equal as possible. Again, the shift, Elise is now starting first position in the B final versus last position in the A final. So for this B final, we have Elise, Alex, Aiden, Austin, Matthew, Kyle, Joe, Colin, and Brad rounding out the B final. And the lights are on. We are getting ready to close out the racing on Monaco. Lights out.
And they're off. Wow, nice start for Elise.
Elise has walked away from the field now. Aiden is getting roughed up there.
Yeah, the battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth. Oh, we got some karts getting pushed.
Much more aggressive racing today.
Yeah.
Alex with a power move inside of Matthew.
I didn't see anything that looked overly aggressive, you know, as far as penalties, but there was some aggression going on there. Look how close they are. That is amazing.
Elise has stepped out to a commanding lead with that battle from second, third, fourth, fifth on back.
Matthew, Alex, and Aiden are very close. I think Aiden struggles a little bit with the sliding, you know, from being so light. And I think that's going to come into play here if he gets a little push from behind.
Definitely, but he was very defensive at that start. It was able to hold everybody off, even though they were beating his back bumper to death.
We're going to see how this goes in the switchback here. Alex is able to get alongside just a little bit. Needs a nice run. Oh, I think that was a bit of a tap.
Oh, yeah. Alex and Matthew are not going to be patient.
Yeah, you're going to want to watch for that. You know, not knocking someone off their line is definitely not something that we like to see. Yeah, we see some warning signs coming out, so they're definitely aware of it. Oh, he's alongside. Let's see if we can make it stick.
Oh.
Oh, and Jonathan snuck in there for a second.
All this battling for second, third, and fourth has allowed Austin to catch up and insert his name into the situation.
It's actually Matthew snuck in there. I said Jonathan, but it was Matthew. A lot of names flying around.
The pickle himself.
The pickle, yeah. There you go. Oh, there's a move by the pickle.
Seeing a little frustration out of Matthew there, telling people to go, go, go.
Yeah, this is going to get, as they say, spicy.
Yes.
Coming up here in the next couple laps. We're halfway through. Elise has a commanding 5-second lead. Now, I never thought I'd see 3. Now we've seen 5.
Yes.
3 karts side by side. Joey is back there going for it.
This is the most fire we've seen out of Kyle all weekend. Got under Austin, made a position swap there.
Yeah, Kyle has really moved up. All right, we're going to be starting lap 10 as they come around. At least now 6 seconds out. Everybody's going to be looking at that kart 14 and wondering if it's the kart, but they're so close. It must just suit her.
I'm not going to discount Elisa's driving at all, but
No.
I think Aiden and Alex and Matthew beating each other up has allowed her to just walk away.
Oh, yeah, that battling like that just does nothing but slow everybody down.
A lot of aggressive driving early in the race. Oh, Matthew made it to the inside, got around Alex.
There we go. A lot of hand pointing and high-fiving going on. I don't think it was a high five.
No, it definitely wasn't a high five. There was an argument down the straightaway.
Yeah, Matthew was able to hold on to that spot. Oh, going back for it. Alex is trying to get it back.
Now he's getting beat up coming out of the hairpin. And that again allows the group behind them to catch right back up. Austin got right back around Kyle, so he is now battling Alex.
I think Matthew's going to need a chiropractor after this.
Now they're coming to the white flag. Elise has a very commanding lead over the rest of the field. And all that beating and banging has allowed Aiden to walk out to a very comfortable 7-kart lead over Matthew, Alex, Austin, Kyle, and Colin. So strong finish there by Elise to take the win in the B final, followed by Aiden, Matthew, Alex, Austin, Kyle, Colin, Joe, and rounding out this field is Brad. What an exciting B final that was from start to finish.
That was. I'm anxious to see if there's a little conversation between those two drivers when they come off the track, Matthew and Alex.
Most definitely. They had an argument going down the straightaway.
Yeah, that was.
But it'll be interesting to see if the officials have anything to say as well.
I see they're talking to Elise.
They're talking to Elise. Interesting conversation there. Now Alex has to get his word in. But Kevin went to put his flag down. He's pulling into the pit.
Good race by all. Let's see how this shakes out. See if there's some review.
P3, P4 is under video review.
That's the positions that we were talking about. That was the
Alex and Matthew conversation.
Yeah. I'm anxious to see how that shakes out. From my standpoint, it looked like a racing incident, but it's so close out there and they're so far away from us, we really can't see.
Definitely.
We need a eye in the sky, as they call it, next time. We need to put a camera up there in that corner.
I think a lot of duct tape I could hang myself. Just sit up there with a camera looking down at everything. That would be fun.
Yeah, just put on camera up there, right on that corner, so we can.
I'm losing blood to my fingers.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm envisioning that cat. You know what I'm talking about? The cartoon with the cat. Hang on. Hang in there. That's a hang in there.
Any issue, you got to drive a 2-mile-an-hour boom lift out there to get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we have a pretty good setup. We do our live. We have 5 cameras, and I'll show it to you on the next break. But we have them 3 of them overlap together, and it looks seamless. And it's pretty good. We do a pretty good live. Everybody does, but my guys in my place, Blake does a great job with it, and Gavin and John, 3 employees. They volunteer their time to come in and do a live feed. I lost 3 league racers over it because they were league racers, also, but yeah, it's okay. We like the live feed.
It seems like that's the karting industry's bad habit, is to hire your highest grossing customers.
Yeah, yeah, there is that. So that's always like, hey, we got a new employee, but we lost our best customer.
But at the end of the day, like, you can't replace that level of passion that they would bring into the building and knowledge, just from the customer perspective, how things are going on. Our production pro over here, Emil,
yeah,
we took away an 1/8 of our revenue because he was our employee now.
Wow, yeah.
That was an exaggeration, but he did spend a lot of money.
I'll tell you how I got into the karting industry, in case you're wondering. Hold on, I'm just typing that it's in review in here in the chat because a couple of the people in there sent me a message that they can't hear the audio for some reason, probably on their side. So,
Gotcha.
So back in the day when I was young, I raced over in Europe, raced motocross, and I went to a karting center over there to eat because back in the 80s in Europe, there was no Americanized, no one spoke English, or very few people did. And if you wanted to eat something that you recognized and knew what it was, you went to a karting center because they had hamburgers, hot dogs, brats, that kind of thing. And so I didn't really like go-karting. I was a dirt bike guy, and it just didn't cross over. But I got kind of hooked on the karting side of it. And then when I moved back, or I didn't move back, I came back to the States about 2000. Karting centers, there was 3, and I went to one. Spent all my money there. I think I spent like $600 there in a week, and that was down in Tampa. And I decided that if someone opened one in my town, I'd be broke. So on the plane home, my wife and I are drawing it out on napkins, and 6 months later, we were like the 4th European-style karting center in the United States, and kept me from spending all my money at a karting center. But, I spent my money opening a karting center.
Yeah, and then you had unlimited karting, whenever you wanted.
Yeah, well, yeah, I still race about 4 times a day. Typically, I'll come in the morning and race 3 20-lap sessions, which is the same as 4 retail sessions. And I know my employees drives them nuts. They're like, oh, we got to let the boss go out there and flounder around on the track. But it's a good workout. And when I don't do it, I immediately start to gain a little weight. Pound a month about, and I can maintain my weight if I just keep doing that, and it keeps my back in shape. And I race with some of my league racers. Come out, and everybody knows at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to race. So some of my league racers come out, and we work on lines and league things and trying different things and weights. That's how I determined the weight system that we use, as far as how many points we give in an advantage for every 10 pounds. So it helps. It really helps a lot. But that's my karting story.
Yeah, it's a great.
And I race 12-hour, 24-hour races, and back to that Guinness World Record I have. So
number 2.
I got it in there. I actually have a tattoo of it. No, I don't. All right, so we're getting ready. They're warming up the tires. They're going to grid up, and then I'll let you take over because you have the sheet.
This is the A final now. Starting on pole is going to be Teddy Oates. Outside of him is Tony Patterson. Inside row 2, Nate Groh. Outside row 2, CJ Arabia. Inside row 3 is Brandon Pavo. Outside row 3, Jonathan Rumpel. Inside row 4, Aaron Luke Ramos. Outside row 4, Caleb Koskov. Rounding out the A field is going to be Jason Anderson in the back. Jason had a strong showing yesterday in the position racing. Made a couple smart and patient moves. Is that going to continue today, or is he going to get aggressive right off the bat since he's starting at the back of the field?
Well, I think there's going to have to be some aggression if you're going to maximize your points today.
Yeah, today
anybody's going to lay back.
They're running 14 laps today, different than the past couple of days, so they have a little bit more time to set those moves up. We'll see if they have any patience at all or if they just go for it on lap 1. Since the officials didn't come and talk to us about the race, we are just going to assume that it's still under review because we haven't heard anything different. We will follow up with them after the race and see if anything changed there and let everyone know and keep everyone updated.
I'm hoping that light fits in my luggage when I leave today.
We're definitely going to have to steal it.
I like that light. And that is the longest 4 to 6 seconds in racing history.
It probably feels like a lifetime to the adrenaline pumping through these guys in the karts.
I can't imagine sitting there waiting to jump. Nice clean start. I didn't even hear any bumping.
None. No barrier impacts, nothing. But unlike the last race, that keeps Tony right on Teddy's back bumper, and then Nate right there as well. Everybody in this race seems to be minding their manners so far, but we are only 1 lap in.
Nice spacing front to back. Everybody should have enough room to get some good laps in and hopefully catch the person in front of them.
But currently nobody's in a great position to make a pass, so I think we'll have another lap where everybody's minding their manners.
Teddy is still holding on to the lead. Tony's got close in second. 0.7 of a second back.
Looks like Teddy and Tony are starting to walk away from Nate a little bit.
CJ, Brandon, and Jonathan are getting closer. Aaron seems pretty relaxed and happy with that position. I was expecting a little more of a fight.
Well, he may just be trying to keep his nose clean, not knock himself completely out of the points contention at all. I think this will shake things up a little bit. You know, Tony being at the top of the points right now, running second place in the A final, definitely going to help his cause out. Teddy Oates is also up there at the top of the points. This is really going to help his cause if he's able to hold Tony off and we stay where we're at for the remaining 7 laps. But the back of the field's starting to bunch up a little bit. A little frustration there from Jason as Caleb pulls away from him on the straightaway.
We're halfway in.
Looks like he had a better exit off of this last hairpin.
I'm amazed at the camera work, how well they're doing out there. It's so awesome that you can just watch the race on the feed, and
oh yeah,
it looks great.
We've got 2 tripod cameras. We've got 1 mobile camera. We do not have a kart view camera today.
Starting in lap 10.
Not a lot of movement, any aggression at all out there right now. Maybe some frustrations from a few drivers, but
I think they're all close enough in lap time that there really isn't a lot of movement going to happen. They're all within a couple tenths.
Definitely. And it looks like Tony is making the drive up to catch up to Teddy, set him up for a pass, maybe a last lap pass.
Got 2 laps to get it done.
Teddy's starting to feel the pressure. He's looking behind him every turn. But Teddy and Tony are coming to the white flag, so he only has to hold him off for one more lap to take home the A final and one of these beautiful WKA medals.
Looks like Teddy's going to hold on to it.
Looks like Teddy is going to take home the A final. Tony comes in second place, followed by Nate, CJ, Brandon. I don't know if Jonathan made the pass on Aaron. He did.
Yeah.
Fantastic race.
Another last lap pass.
Another one. So I have got to run one of these medals out here and hand it to Dakota, and I will be right back.
All right. Well, that was certainly exciting.
All right.
Now we get ready to make the move.
We are getting ready to make the move. So, folks, we are going to move over to the Le Mans. So we're going to break everything down, swap over there, and we'll be right back.
We'll be back in a little bit.